the old package.
Yes. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Town Council meeting this evening. Before we start, could we have prayers, please, David?
Lord, as we celebrate once again the coming of the Prince of Peace, we pray for your peace and blessing to rest upon our town. As we remember Jesus, the champion of the poor, we pray for those who are homeless and needy this Christmas in our time. Lord, help us to work together for the benefit of all the residents of this town. And we pray for this meeting tonight in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you.
Can you pass that down, please? Oh, no, right, I will do. Yeah. I'll have a sheet ready.
Let's come back up here.
Just put Susan's apologies on that.
Yeah, okay, Tim, yeah.
Sheet, Mr. Clark.
Apologies, please.
From our side, Pete Lappiett, Tony Rowland and Claire.
Right. David?
Susan makes sure
Yes.
illness.
Chris?
I've actually nearly lost a voice, and some people say that's a benefit to me, but it's actually quite poor.
I've also I'm sorry, Karen.
Well, she just writes it down now, I'm just getting listed.
Right, Chris?
I've also received apologies from Councillor David Hallam, and I've been told that Councillor Ken Wood couldn't make it either. But it's not been official, that one.
Declaration of interest. Notification of lobbying on the item on the agenda. Have we had any replies to the minutes? Right, we had no replies to the minutes. To receive and consider adopting a true and accurate record of the following minutes. Town Council, 14th of November, and update on... Oh, no, sorry. It's only one. Yes, David. Yes, Bob.
I'll deal with that. You've done the minutes of the Town Council as well as the Personnel Committee. I've got a proposal to make.
Right, okay.
Okay.
Your proposal of true record.
I'll second it.
Yeah.
Need a vote.
Noted, Chair.
Noted, yeah. Thank you very much, David. You know, I like that word. Yes, Bob.
With regard to the personnel meeting and minutes of the personnel meeting, I would like to make a formal proposal that the Personnel Committee is charged with approving their own minutes with two provisos. The first proviso is that any meeting of the Town Council Personnel Committee has to be notified to all councillors. And the second one, a notice is put out to all councillors when the minutes are available that they can come and inspect them at the Town Council. That is to try to keep personal details more secure. It leaves it open to any Town Councillor to attend if they so wish to, which is our Constitution allows, and should make for smoother running of the Council. I formally move that amendment to their standard.
Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
All in favour?
Any again?
Any against? Well, there's no abstentions because that's it. Right, Josie. Update on personnel, please. For noting.
We're going to do it after public and press.
Or was it? Well, it's on the list here, but it doesn't matter.
Well, can do it. it's up to you. If you've got things that you think the council need to know, I think we'll do that at the end of the meeting with the exclusion.
Yes.
Okay, we'll leave it till end then. Right then, police update. Over to you.
Want to introduce it?
Yes.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd just like to introduce introduce the PCSO, Deb Richards, who's come in place of the inspector who couldn't make the meeting. But we have been promised that at the next meeting we will be having Paddy Tipping here. But at least today we can at least address police issues, which we've not been able to do the last two meetings. And if there's any issues, then obviously we can't answer. She'll kindly take them back and we'll be able to get back to you.
Would the PCSO like to come sit this side of the table?
Yeah.
So
I was going to say, I don't like having my back to people.
You go on that side, that's it.
Thank you.
That's lovely.
Thank you. Right, apologies sent from Inspector Ragg and Sergeant Browning for this evening. I've not been to one of these meetings before. Please don't shoot the messenger. I'll do what I can. I'll answer what I can. If I can't answer any questions, I'll take your details and I will get back to you. I've been given a little bit of a brief as to what to start off with. So we've got some crime figures to start with. All crime in Eastwood, that covers north and south. I don't know what period it covers actually, it's not said. Is 617 crimes in comparison to 610 crimes, so that's an increase of 7, which is 1%, 1.1%. That's split again into the north and the south. So the north has had 383 crimes, which is up 24, an increase of 6.7%. And Eastwood South, all crime, is 545, which is an increase of 47 incidents, with that's an increase of 9.4%.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just going to stop you there. You said total crime is 617. Yeah?
Yeah.
North is 383.
You're going to tell me?
And south is 500.
Does that not add up right?
You don't balance,
Yeah.
no.
Oh gosh, it is, isn't it?
It's way out.
It should be 383 and 234.
Yeah, it's way out.
If it's right. But if 617 is wrong, then you need to get it right.
I know.
All crime.
It's way out, isn't it?
It is way out, isn't it? Yeah. Right, I'll go back to him and I will amend. Yeah, that's right, isn't it?
So send amendment into first.
Yeah. It's 928, as against 617 you reported.
Yeah.
And I suggest 545 might be as legal.
I'll get him to clarify what that is. Like I say, all I've had is this email, so
Hello.
I do apologise about that.
Have you not got your radio?
No, no. There's nobody on duty either. There's only me here.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yes, I was on. My shift today was 8:30 till 6:30, and I was asked to stay on. There's no. We've got response officers, obviously, but they're at Hucknall, aren't they? But there's nobody at Eastwood Police Station at the moment.
We have no police presence in Eastwood tonight.
Only one.
Unless. Have we got one? No, she's going. She's
Oh, I see what you mean. Sorry, yes.
to carry on,
Yes.
which is thank you for.
Yeah, it is concerning. I take, obviously I can take your point, and I fully understand that, and everybody else is concerned. It's how the shift patterns work, and it's just worked out that today there's nobody on until after 6:30, really, normally. So I don't know what we can do about that. That's just staffing at the moment.
It was the same 10 years ago.
Mm.
We had no police officers in Eastwood. If you wanted one, you had to go to Hucknall.
Yeah,
So nothing's changed.
It's the same now. All our response, like I say, are at Hucknall. I think they're going to be moving to Watnall. it's a little bit closer, but not a massive amount. But response times are pretty good. You know, if you need somebody, there isn't. It is pretty. Yeah, yeah. So it is unfortunate that obviously budgets and reductions in stations and things. So. Yeah.
I have to say, don't come with that budgets and what. It's not our problem. It's a
Yes,
it's a good
I know,
cop
but
problem. That's not our problem. We haven't got no cops in the Eastwood tonight. That's what you said. That's
yeah.
That's
Okay.
interesting.
Okay, let's have a look what we've got. Crime at Broxtowe North is now plus 78 crimes. I'll have to go back and check that because the other figures above are wrong, obviously. For the same period this time last year, some of the rise in recorded crime against the period last year is owing to a violence and sexual offences audit. For example, Public Order Act offences on Eastwood South have seen an increase in 30 this year compared to 7 last year. A large number of historic crimes have now been recorded as a result of this audit, which in turn has ensured Notts Police are compliant with the Home Office accounting rules, recording principles. Other areas of statistical concern are burglary dwellings, which are house burglaries, which shows an increase in offending across all 3 areas. The areas at the moment that are having more problems with burglaries are Nuttall, where offenders we think are coming in from the Broxtowe estate onto the Mornington Crescent up there, and we've had 3 in Kimberley. But is consistent with the rise in offending of this crime type force-wide.
So you give us Nuttall and Kimberley, well, that Bailey.
Was that Eastwood?
The greatest geographical concern across the Broxtowe North is Eastwood South, which shows a 45% increase in offending. The key message for
We need a
to
number.
ensure safety. It doesn't. No, it doesn't give that, unfortunately.
I'm asking you to get that.
Yeah.
Is there any specific area that you want to
No,
know?
we need to know the stats on what you're telling us. So,
Yeah.
you know, if we've had 617, we think total crimes, we're not sure. How many burglaries have we had?
Exactly.
We just can't. We've had this before, saying, oh, it's 45%. We used to say it's gone down 50% because it were only 2 before, and then it's only 1. And that's rubbish. We need to know significant figures. How many burglaries have we had?
That's what we used to get.
Over what period of time do you
Well,
normally have it? Is that from
You compare.
meeting to meeting?
Yes, Bob.
Yeah.
The normal stats, if you look back and you present them in the same manner, I think that will be appropriate for the council.
Yes.
It does the splits burglaries, it does the domestic violence ones,
That's right.
antisocial
Antisocial
behaviour. If you look back on the past reports and you
Yeah.
report it the same way,
Yeah.
then we can actually see
Yeah.
what's going, whether up or down, we know the sort of figures.
Let's be fair. It's not.
No.
And we've got to exonerate her. She's come in a hot seat because the cop can't be bothered to come. But they know the rule. They know how we work it. They know what we have. Every 3 months or whatever they do the stats. They know exactly how it's set out. And unfortunately, they're not wanting to tell you which.
Yeah, it wasn't to get that. I'm just saying.
No.
That's,
No,
if you go back with that message,
yeah.
if
Yeah,
you just send us the normal
absolutely, that's
stats through,
fine.
that's what we're after.
Yeah.
Please.
I said at the last meeting that we could probably Skype it so you could sit in your office. And
Yeah,
Yeah, you mentioned that, didn't you?
Yeah.
I did mention
Yeah.
that to the Inspector, Councillor. Yeah, I did
Oh,
mention
right,
that.
okay. Yeah.
What was his response?
No response.
He said, "How do you do
If
it?"
that's got a journal, then we'll please.
Anyway, sorry. Thank you. We digress.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Right, okay. We've had, again, I have no figure here, so I can only apologise for that.
Not very helpful, this
That
is
we have had a slight increase in vehicle crimes, and the key message from Notts is to basically ensure safety and security of buildings and outbuildings. to prevent further burglaries. We've had, as you're aware, problems on Princess Street, and I know Mrs. Burrows from a previous incident that we spoke about. At the moment, we have done the warrants on the address on Princess Street. We did take substances from that address. As a PCSO, we are out there to get intelligence from the street. We aren't there to put any actions into place. So all we do is we go out, we collect all the information, we get the registration numbers, we put the information in the system, that gets filtered out to intelligence departments, which in turn then gets filtered out to other teams that can do the warrants, remove the untaxed cars off the street. We have disrupted them over the last few weeks since the warrant. Cars are still going, but not the amount that we're going. They know that we're following them round. They know that we're trying to...
Can I just say... You go into the car parks. They're not in cars a lot.
Can I bring it up in?
Can we just...
Come down on my front this afternoon, delivering drugs to cars that have pulled in there this afternoon.
Can we just... this young lady's come to give us statistics, and she's trying to help in the best way she can, but could we keep the question till next meeting? Please.
Thank you. I know it's difficult. I know that the problems are still there and they're still ongoing. At the moment, we are doing all we can to try and sort it out. I know it might not look like that from where you live or what you see and what you do, but we are trying to move them on from Princess Street and get them, if we can move them on from that property, which I think after speaking with Mrs. Burrows is probably going to prove quite difficult. So we need to maybe look at doing other actions. I know we've done some, Inspector Rags is quite keen on doing house closures where the people get evicted and the houses get boarded up and they're not able to be rented out for a certain amount of time. We've done 2 house closures in the last couple of months, one in Orsworth, and I know that's not relevant here, and one on Addison Villas actually last week. So that could potentially be something that Sergeant and Inspector Rag could look at.
Are you finding that's helping with them not being rented out again? Is it if it's the landlords, are the landlords aware of what's happening in their properties?
The 2 properties that have closed down were council properties.
Yeah. So
this property, I believe, is a private let,
It is, yeah.
which makes it that little bit more difficult. Because what you tend to find is...
Don't you approach the landlord and ask them to move them on?
I think, and I can't be 100% certain, but I think he has been approached. But it won't be from our side, from this side. It'll be from other departments that have that interaction with them.
I have to say, in all honesty, what you're saying is an action that you think would prove to be quite positive. But we know what family we're talking about. The last time their house was tinned up, they were supposed to move them out to Ilkeston, and every morning at 8 o'clock they were sat in Eastwood. So even though you tin the house up, they ain't got to go. You could send them to Timbuktu, they'll be here the next day, plying the trade as they always do.
Yeah, I agree with Councillor Bagshot. It's not really solving the problem. It's either moving it somewhere else, and it's not solving it, so it sends it to another area, So really, it needs
I'm
dealing
all for that,
with.
it says it has issues,
I know,
I ain't got a
but
problem
it
with
doesn't
that.
solve the problem.
No.
Can I just ask you, you know the little bandstand that's at the rear of the Sun Inn? That's a den of iniquity there.
Yeah.
Is there any chance of any surveillance cameras from the shops opposite? Because someone I know that works in one of the shops or owns the business in the shop watched 30 transactions take place within about 4 hours one afternoon, and it's all happening in that little bandstand.
Right.
And obviously,
And I contacted Sergeant Brown, and he normally gets straight back to me, because I think that's horrific. I mean, a camera, surely we can catch them that way.
Yeah. Well, I spoke to. We've had a lot of. One thing I do need to get across is we get a lot of people that stop us in the street, that ring us at the station, that email Councillor Longdon, that gets them passed to us about the grandstand and the little courtyard, near the little shops. I have done a check, probably the only one I did before I came here, about this, is that in the last 4 weeks, or in the last month, so back to the 12th of November, we've only had one report which relates to the courtyard with drugs, and we've only had one report from Princes Street, official report, that's been logged.
This young lady that's watched the 30 transactions has been in touch with the police.
Well, I've looked for incidents in the last month that's been logged officially, that's gone through the 101 number, and we've only had 2. One relates to the property right on the very end, and then one relates to the courtyard. Now, it's not that we don't obviously appreciate people coming to tell us, because I was approached on the lights that night with the lights.
On a camera even, you know, on a phone.
We aren't aware of that. That needs to be. People need to ring in on the 101 number to get it logged, and then we've got a proper record of where all the incidences are coming in.
I just
You
feel
get a-
that
you
if
get a
this was
history.
St Anne's,
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sure
Can I
there's a
make
bigger police presence down in St Anne's, isn't there? I know it's quite violent down there, and God forbid we don't have any shootings up here, but we're classed as a deprived
Yeah.
area, and this drug trafficking is horrendous.
Yeah.
Really.
And I did speak to, if I can just answer Josie, if that's all right. I did speak to Sergeant Browning last week about it, and I did say to him, cameras, we need to get some portable cameras from somewhere. I don't know if the force have got some that they can lend us, if the council can provide some,
you know,
on
contact the
streets.
brewery and tell them you've got a
Can I
problem.
just come in on, particularly on the cameras? That particular bandstand's visible from the borough system. I know full well it is, because I used to be a CCTV operator.
Which camera? Is it on Mansfield Road?
The camera on the corner,
corner.
of Barclays Bank
Right.
picks up the bandstand at the back of the Sun Inn
it.
perfectly.
Right.
does.
Unless they've altered the camera since I was on.
Provided it's working.
Well, yeah.
If you contact
So
the
if you contact through your...
if you contact the brewery, who owns it?
No,
Oh,
No,
no,
contact.
the brewery
No.
don't own it. It's,
No.
it's the
borough council.
bandstand on the little car park.
Yeah, but you know it's happening at the back of the Sun Inn. If you contact the brewery and tell them you've got problems within their area where their pub is, they'll try and help you.
Oh right, I didn't know they.
Yeah,
they got
they will
CCTV.
try and help you.
Yeah.
We've got
That's
a,
good.
we've got
We
a
used to go
contact.
to the call centre a lot.
We've got a contact at Brock, so we can pass on to you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
The other,
I think you have to get your own camera.
Mm.
You're asking that.
Yeah,
people-
we- no,
you're
I
asking
know,
people
yeah.
how to take images
Yeah.
of people without their consent. Whatever they're doing,
mm,
and unless you're going to sanction that and everybody else is, there'll be innocent people on there that shouldn't be on there.
no, I'm not saying
Oh, you need to
that,
get your
but
own
yeah,
camera.
I mean I've said to Sergeant Browning we
And
need
they
to
have got
look at.
plenty of
Yeah, but-
portable cameras.
we also I think we also need to look at putting a bid in. That's their terminology for a proper covert,
Yeah.
undercover,
Covert.
plainclothes surveillance,
Yeah.
and he did say that he would be looking at that as well.
That will be from behind a window.
Yeah.
It won't be outside. They
That won't,
don't
yeah,
do
that
it
won't be our team that does that. It's another team that comes from
there's
headquarters.
shops above the shops, isn't there? Plenty of rooms there.
Yeah.
Could-
There is.
Yeah,
And
that
it's
would be
been-
very, very handy.
Yeah.
I'll definitely take that
inside
back.
the pub
Yeah,
itself.
I mean, I'm just quoting one day, that's probably happening daily.
yeah, yeah.
That was
Well, what was
within
the
4
cameras?
hours, 30.
You were on about
Roxton Borough Council,
Yeah.
we used operating from the police station. You have to go through the normal procedure. It's
Yeah.
got to be
I bet they
superintendent.
aren't even manned
Yeah.
there. Do you think so?
Go see how just.
I'm sorry.
You have to go through the correct procedure, which is your superintendent level, to request of the Roxton Borough Council CCP team. At that point, we'll then put a surveillance on that address, that picket area, and it'll be done all properly, all by the proper regulations. And of course, if you know a specific time and date, then they can actually pull it back if it's inside the 28 days
Yeah.
and get images from it.
Yeah.
But you've got to go through the proper procedures.
And the plus side of what you're saying is you get an evidential quality.
Mm.
Some of these cameras
The
won't
1st
be
of
evidential.
December, and she was referring to the day before,
Right.
30th of
Yeah.
November.
I've gone back to the 12th of November, and there was only the two. So the more we get.
No, I mean on this camera thing.
Oh right. I'm sorry. I thought we meant the 30th of November. But yeah, I mean, thank you for that. I appreciate it, and I will take that back. Obviously. Yeah, that was fantastic.
I do find it strange though that you say you've only got 2 recorded incidents that you've received at your centre when we come to this meeting time after time and the tenants are in uproar and they're all saying that they've reported them. There must be more than 2.
I've only gone on the last month.
Yeah?
I've only gone on the last 4 weeks. But during the last 4 weeks, I know I've had at least 2 emails, one from Councillor Longdon and one person stopped me on the street and told me, which is fine, I can log that, but it needs to be logged officially through the 101 number ideally as well, so that we've got a log, and like that gentleman says, that we can refer back to it and it's all in one place.
Well, at the last meeting it was uproar because the tenants on Princess Street, they say they're fed up of reporting, they're fed up of phoning, and nothing's ever recorded. I find it absolutely atrocious.
That I am only referring to drugs activity with the 2 reports. There has been 21 reports from Princess Street in the last month, but not drug related. So it relates to other things, you know, like domestics and antisocial behaviour.
Well, what about the anonymous email site that you get onto? So that doesn't count then? So that's
Crime
being
Stoppers.
used, but it's obviously not being logged then.
Crime Stoppers goes straight directly through to our intelligence department. It doesn't come through to the beat team.
So what's the point of that then? So you're
Potentially,
reporting it
yeah.
on a website that's not even coming here then?
No, it will go. It goes to the intelligence department, and they will collate the information, and we will only see that information if it's then filtered down to Inspector Ragg or Sergeant Browning, and then he will mention it.
So basically it's just a waste of time doing it then, obviously.
It isn't,
It's not
because
being
because it
collated
is logged. It's still logged within the system. It's just when we log onto our computers in the morning, we can see what jobs have come in the day before or the week before. We won't necessarily see it on our job sheet, but it will be there. It will be recorded on our system.
I mean, I was told the last meeting to report crime, which is what you do. But the trouble is, it's all right saying report it every time it happens, but with the activity that's going on, I'd have to sit in my house all day because it's literally going on all the time. I couldn't go out. You can literally watch them doing it. It's right in front. They're not even hiding the fact that they're doing it, and there's a CCTV camera right where they're doing it. You tell me. I spent months last year. I told you last month. a certain person that lived on the street was then evicted. I spent months and months and months with a diary. I wrote car numbers, colour of car, time they were coming down. When they raided the house, you know what they found? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. It was like the M1 on Princess Street. You couldn't get down to your own house because of all the drug dealers coming, or druggies coming for their fix.
Can I just ask you where you put that information? You know,
You've
all
still
the
got it,
information
haven't
that you wrote down. Did you
I
put
don't
that
know
on?
whether I've still got the book. I did have it, but I don't know whether I've since.
So
It was
that-
all I came up to the police station because somebody had gave the police my mobile number. I did that. I came up and he photocopied it. Can't remember his name because he was moved off.
Richard Reynolds.
He went somewhere else.
Oh, right, okay. So that's quite a while ago
Yeah,
then?
yeah. And it's the same. No, it's next door. It's the next door property. It isn't just the one property on there. There's 3 that need to be looked at on there. On
Right.
Princess Street. It isn't just the one that you're on about.
Well, I can certainly speak to PC Reynolds when I see him. He's off at the moment. He's back on Thursday, so I'll see him then and see if he's still got a list. But if it's before he went off, that's...
I don't know whether it was him. I can't
potentially-
remember his name. I think it was.
Well, I think there's only Richard Reynolds that's been moved.
Yeah.
He moved to.
Beeston.
He moved to Beeston.
It's back now, yeah.
Yeah.
Was it him? I
So
don't
you're
know.
looking at about at least 2-3 years ago. So that's going to be...
No, once again, if you just said the CCTV camera, it's in front of the CCTV camera. That again is another Broxtowe camera down there. Those images will be
That's
being created. That's one.
That camera near Princess Street on the end, near the old
Yes.
cafe,
Yes.
I did contact we were doing, I can't remember what we were doing, but I contacted, you know, the main depot at Newark that
Yeah.
runs all the screens.
Yes.
And he did say that that one was currently out of action and it was a dial-up one.
Yes, it's dial-up.
It is
It
a
is dial-up. It
dial-up.
doesn't matter. The dial-up ones carry the pictures on the chip. You only got to download them from the dial-up.
Yes, David?
Right.
Chair, unfortunate, as I've said before, for
Deborah.
Deb.
Deborah to have to sit in this hot seat.
Yes.
This can go on
All night.
and it
Yeah.
probably will. And I have to say, in a defence, that Crime Stoppers is an actual wonderful way to report crime. And we've said it before, they won't just be reactive. Unfortunately, coppers aren't. You can ring up and say, by the way, 300 yards from your front door, there's drugs going on. They say, send it through to 101. And that's what you have to do. They ain't going to come rushing out. The old film days where they come running out with the apps and whatever, it doesn't happen. So you've got to do one-on-one, brilliant keeping a journal. It's got to go through the control room, we'll create the history, and eventually it gets to where it should be. And as I say, please keep reporting crime, and to me, Crime Stoppers is invaluable.
Yeah, it's a very good. It does go through to the right people. It's just that, like, say, it doesn't necessarily come down to you, does it? Which if you could probably ask Inspector Raddy to get hold of somebody from intelligence and see what they see if that would help.
Yeah, certainly I'll do that.
And never just for information, I'm an ex-crime reduction manager in the city centre. So that's why I got it.
Thank you. One of the other things, if I can just briefly touch on this, is something that long-term solution that I have proposed, that I, not being me, to Broxtowe Borough Council members, is that Princess Street is incorporated into a new public spaces protection order, which is like an old DPPO. And this will be put before members for agreement. I'm presuming, does that mean yourselves?
It sounds like it's the Broxtowe Council.
Oh, right, okay.
I would just come in on that because it will really. After this last meeting, I went down to Princess Street. I walked Princess Street. I didn't right there. There were bloody bottles, tins, leaves, weeds up the alleyways, which we'd cleaned up ones. So I reported it direct back to Rockstone and said, right, you need to get something down here. We've got a little mobile leaf sweeper. I came up last week and it hadn't been done. There were still leaves across it. And it's the kids who use that as a walkway to school, who just chuck, wherever you go, there's bottles and whatever. And it needs improving. We know it's a problem. We know it's a problem in the street. We know if you're going, run into one house, you're getting drugs. The way in front of you, it's 4 or 5 houses down, and then it's 4 or 5 houses down there. They just shift it around. You ain't going to catch it unless you knock on all the doors that you know about. So we're trying to clean it up, and hopefully we will get it cleaned up. As far as the cameras go, we must make sure that these cameras are in full working order. But at the end of the day, it's people that live there and the people in Eastwood that need to see a police present, because that's what we're paying them for. You're a public servant. Please come and give us some service.
Yeah. We are, you know, I'm not going to go down the route of there's no staff, but we are out as much as we possibly can be at the moment.
Borrow some.
We are.
But what I'm saying, it might not be the right sort of presence. So you think, I know it's expensive and this, that, but an officer with a dog, a sniffer dog, a drug sniffer dog, is a completely different ballgame to two people like yourself.
Yeah.
You know that yourself.
Oh, absolutely.
So maybe it's just the type of presence that's there.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things we can't do as a PCSO is search people for drugs.
Yeah.
We can search for other things, but we can't search them for drugs. So sometimes the problem we have is if we are out and about and we see people on Prince's Street, clearly with the man bag and things like that, we potentially know that they've got things on them. Even if we approach them, we can only detain that person for half an hour. Now, if we can't get an officer to come out within that time, that person's got to go. We've got to let them go.
But I think they used the dogs down in St Anne's quite a lot at one time, didn't they? Which was more of a deterrent.
Yeah.
Because they're not expecting the dogs to be down there, and the dogs don't lie. You can't hide it from the dogs. So maybe it's looking at what sort of police presence is there rather than, you know.
I think Davey's right. We could talk on this all night, and this young lady's stopped over time.
Yeah.
To come and address us. I know you don't. I don't mind. I know what you're saying, but thank you for coming. It's a pleasure to see you.
Does anybody want to ask any questions, or did you want to move on?
Well, to be quite honest, yeah.
Chair, I think if Deborah wants to stop,
yes, up to you. You can go if you wish.
Two ladies definitely want to ask you questions. Yeah. And I think that's a fair comment, but whether you're going to be able to answer them, but at least you can take note of them, go back to Sergeant Browning.
I mean, I'm on duty tomorrow, so I can certainly come down and see you, Mrs. Burrows, if you're around.
I just think you have to go back and express to Steve Wright our concern that you've come here with poor information. To say the least. You've got a little story to tell us, which is fair comment, but we haven't got the crime stats that we always have from the coppers, and that is poor. They know what we want, and they should have prepared you and give you them. And you know, as you said, you can only arrest people for half an hour, and your spotters really out in the streets. These ladies are probably going to ask you something that you can't answer. You can have to take away and come back and say, you can sit there and do that. I'm quite happy, and I'm sure the chair's quite happy with that.
Do you want to put them in office?
Yeah.
You want to go next door?
Yeah. That's fine. Thank you very much.
Want some paper?
No, I've got my notebook. Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your night.
Yes. Thank you very much.
I'll be going home when I've been here. Thank you.
Right, questions and statements from members of the public. Any? Yes, Brian?
Right. First of all, I'd like to thank the Deputy Mayor for his attendance at the Rookery last week.
No problem.
They will inform you through the rookery, but I was talking to two of the more advanced people that are there that can have a conversation with you, and they were very, very pleased to see you and to give you time up and go down.
No problem.
That was, they expressed me to tell you, fair stand.
Okay.
Right. Another point, I did go to the Civic Mayor's Sunday service. It was very well put together. I thought all the youngsters did pretty well, and I think the three ladies that spoke from the council spoke very clear and very well. One told me she'd never done it before, so I think that was an exception. The thing which we can ask the Mayor for future is people was asking who was the civic dignitaries that was there. Now, people always ask who's such and such, who's that lady, who's this lady. Now, they give up their time on a Sunday afternoon to visit Eastwood and represent their, wherever they come from. I don't know, it might have been Chilwell, Stapleford, or wherever. But I always think it's nice at the end of these of this civic meeting to stand up and introduce these people. Is it a known thing? Is it practiced, or is it not?
No.
It's not.
No. I mean, we went to one on
Sunday. We went to Ripley Sunday, and there was a load of dignitaries there from all over Ashfield, all over Nottingham, basically, and Derby.
Yeah, well, this.
Yeah.
I'm
there was no
about a small
introduction.
meeting like Eastwood.
Yeah, well, it doesn't happen, Brian.
All right.
It doesn't happen, Luke.
That was just a thought.
Yeah.
Right. Another point is, I did put a telephone message in about 3 meetings ago after the young ladies gave a talk on Pentridge. Can you tell me through the clerk if he received, took that message off the answer machine?
It was, yes.
It was on?
Yeah.
Can I ask these two young ladies?
One of them not here, but you can ask me.
There was one of them. Have you heard anything about this?
I don't know about the message.
Oh, well, can I just explain to you that there's a gentleman, now Pentridge is coming up pretty quick now, you haven't got long, have you?
No, I don't.
2017.
No, I'm very aware of
we
this.
went to the first meeting 3 years ago and find out what was happening, coming from Brinsley to Gilbrook, as you know. Now, this gentleman told me to ring in and ask if you two young ladies would like to meet with him. Now, this gentleman has had a book published on the Pentridge Revolution. Now, this has been published, and Derbyshire County Council have purchased one for every one of their libraries in Derbyshire. Now, if they think, having looked through it, it must be very important. But I haven't had a reply to give you. Now, you've got a man that's offering you quite a range of things, what it entails, Sun Inn, and as you know, Brinsley Sun Inn, Edward Road, down to Gilbrook. And we haven't had a reply back for him. Now, I think when people do this, you should come back and say either A, we want you, and A, we don't.
I know, absolutely, I would agree with you. And
Yeah. So,
I don't know, is that
can I just again, can you bring that message back up to whoever
We'll look into that for you, Brian. Yeah.
you'd look into that
Yeah.
and give him an answer. The last point I've got to make, at the last meeting, I was asked to go with Councillor Susan Bagshaw to Brinsley to see Hazel Braithwaite's daughter. Now, I'm not bringing anything up about what went off at that meeting, only one item. That I can get you a signed printed paper that gives you authority for any future that you want to use Hazel's name for the achievement award, the daughter will give it to you. And I've also got another thing to bring up regarding that. We have missed 3 months now because it should have gone on at the rear of the awards night.
Yeah.
Now, it happened once before through
Robert Dunn not being able to come, and you gave him the award 3 months later at a meeting like this. Now, at the last meeting, Councillor Longdon said there'd been nobody put any suggestions forward from the council or from the public. I would like to put a name forward as a member of the public. Marie Cake, 45 years service for the Legion. This time, the Legion's amount was 21,000 that was taken in this area. Now, she's just finished, I believe, doing this. And I think she's a bit down, like the 2 girls was 3 years ago. Now, I think if the council looked at this situation, and I am inviting you all to a book launch tomorrow, which there's people in this town that are in this book that goes back to 1946 to the present day. What these people have done and achieved and brought to Eastwood. It's very interesting. It's very jovial in places and very cheerful in places. I would like you to come. Invite you. It's at this place tomorrow between 10 and 12. Thank you very much for listening, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
Keith, the lady you've just said who you want to recommend for Hazel Braithwaite Award, can you put that in writing, please?
Yeah.
Name and
at the appropriate time, though, ain't it?
Well, put it in writing and let's we'll consider it.
Yeah.
So look at. So can you do that, please?
Apologies for tomorrow. I can't be present tomorrow. I've got family commitments on that.
Yes,
tomorrow.
Yeah, you told me today. Just the other young lady. Can I just finish off?
Yeah.
The young lady had sent you an email through the council or through different councillors. She told me this morning that she hadn't got a reply. But at 3 o'clock this afternoon she came and says to me, I have had a reply, right. And she is to do with the doctor's surgery. She is a care worker. And I believe she's informed you that she's trying to get a dementia cafe going in the area.
Yes.
I think you've received that.
Yes.
I'm just saying I personally haven't, but
no, but I think if she really wants somebody to sit with her, because if you haven't been to one, you don't know really what you're talking about, the situation.
That's what we've asked for.
We actually, I was there when the email was received, and it was responded to asking the lady for more information.
Yes, she's given me that information to know.
Well, until we get that information, we can't. No. Obviously, we can't do anything with it or act on it. So if you've got that information, please.
She'll get you the information through.
Yeah.
Probably by tomorrow. Thank you.
Right. Nobody else? No. Right. Planning update. Nothing.
this is noted in circulation.
Noted, David.
Noted, Chair.
Update on police lease and the front premises lease. Retail. We are very, very close. I think it's that close to get police done, and I think the retail area is relatively simple. As soon as the police has done that, it'll be wrapped up also. So hopefully we'll have it by end of next week. That's what I've got my fingers crossed for. Right, update on neighbourhood plan. Bob Charleston.
The neighbourhood plan is under the final proofreading. I hope to get out for some bedtime reading. Bit of a joking that, David, over the Christmas period. So some light reading over Christmas, hopefully to get out. It all depends on the final proofreading and we are very confident to get it out, and we intend to hold a special town council meeting in January, the third Monday, which is Chris.
Sorry, can I come back on that? Just carry on.
The third Monday in January
About the 16th.
is the 16th.
Yeah, thank you.
A special town council meeting to discuss the plan. Hence why I wanted to get this out over the Christmas period to give you plenty of time to read through it and
we'd say, I shall have to reach out each
and then we'll formally start the consultation period and printing of the literature in February. The thoughts is, provided it's accepted by the council, or as altered by the council, whatever. And then a consultation period starting in March through to the for 6 weeks. That's the plan on it, moving it forward in the next stages. But I should have a printed copy of that for councillors within a week.
Yep. Noted. Dave Downs, please.
Could you just take one and pass them down, please? From the last
meeting.
Right, from the last meeting, I've sat with Howard and we've got some figures. Sheets now been issued. Just to bring you up to date. As you can see, on the left-hand side of it is all the people and the dates that people have hired the hall, and the cost, what that person was, total hours and total cost. To date, we've taken £2,090 on the hire of the hall, and estimated for the year will be £3,135. That's on the bookings that we've got. Any new this does not include any new bookings. The estimated we could have a caretaker who would probably do 56 hours at £7.80, and that would cost £436.80p to date. And if you estimate it for the year, that'd be £655. That's based on minimum wage of £7.80. What I'd like the council to do, if you're happy with those figures and you think it's feasible, I would like to propose that the Personnel Committee generate an advert with a job description and whether we go on and employ a caretaker.
56 hours, what? 56 hours a month? 56 hours?
Well, it's 50. It's 50. Estimated as 56. It's 56 hours estimated on the estimated current usage of the hall. That would work out at 56 hours he would have done if he would have appeared and held each one of those there, what you see there.
Well, depending on the number of meetings, some are on, you can see Boots here. You've got it that there's on the 22nd, the neighbourhood watching Boots. Is he going to come back at night if it's a meeting at night? And
he'll cover the meeting. He'll open. It depends on the advert, but he'll open the hall, the chamber. He'll get everything ready, tables, everything in place. And then he'll go. There's no need for him to stay. Then then he comes back and locks up. Make sure everything is clean, tidy, and locks up.
Well, it seems reasonable if that's a genuine forecast based on what the turnover's been at present. Which is he going to be employed on? What's it? It's flexi time, flexible hours, isn't it?
Yeah, he'll only cover the hall. He won't be here full time. He'll only open up and close up. But he will do it whenever the hall is booked, whether our staff are in here or not.
And obviously, if the bookings increase, that there's more on the say one in the morning, one in the afternoon, he's going to be doing more hours.
His hours will increase.
Right.
But then the income will
go up. You see, we'll talk about it later, but it's arose over something else. If you're going to get a budget, you've got to put a reserve on the budget in case something happens, haven't you?
Yeah.
Which has not been done on the case that.
But as regards this one, if the hours go down to zero,
oh yes,
his hours would go down to zero.
Yes. if there's no bookings for a fortnight, he don't come in.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I understand that.
So we won't have a just employing folks for somebody's being employed. It's purely on a flexible basis. That's if we can get somebody
To do it on that basis.
Yeah. But the proposal at the moment is that basis.
I'm afraid, I can't agree with this because it's worse than a 0 hours contract, which I disagree with anyway, quite heartily. Guy's been asked to come in here on the 19th of January for an hour. Oh no, I picked a good one there, 7 hours. And then it's the 22nd of January for an hour. I think it's a bit up and down unless you've got somebody who's retired and is quite willing to accept that because you've got a good pension, for a good private pension as well as a pension from the state. And again, the living wage, I would much rather see that than minimum wage.
Actually,
A
Charlie,
bit of a difference.
that is it.
Yeah,
It is a living wage.
It's what
It's
what the government. It's what the government are going to pay.
Yeah.
Not the living wage. Then.
And there's more regular
bookings.
bookings at the minute as well as.
You've got to go right back when we first started.
So we don't.
Yeah.
You picked out the Boots one. They've got it for 8 hours. The guy won't be here for 8 hours. He'll just come in the morning.
Half an hour in the morning, half an hour at night.
He'll come in, unlock, make sure everything's set up for them, go, then come back.
But you've got a regular commitment with Boots, haven't you? They're going to be coming on a regular basis.
Oh, most of these are regular, aren't they?
That's right.
And this Sensation on a Saturday, they're regular.
Yeah.
At the moment,
Things are
we're
flowing.
doing it.
Yeah.
Same as Sunday morning, we're doing it.
Yeah.
Brian's in here tomorrow.
That's right.
He doesn't want this layout.
Yeah.
I've got to come in. I'm coming in tomorrow, and I'm going to lay out the table for Brian.
That's right.
I think, Mr Mayor, the regulars like the yoga that's once a week, the church that's once a week, I don't know what else is once a week. Going back to when Myrby worked for a short period at Brinsley Parish Council, he did so many hours per day over the week as a job share. And you could, he knew who he was opening and closing for and who he was setting the room out because they were regulars. These, such as Boots, which isn't a once a week jobby, and it's during the day when the staff are here, I don't think you'd sort of bring that into...
I'm sorry, to lay this out for Boots, you can't expect Chris, Debbie or Howard to run the tables around.
Or us.
Or us. I'm doing it at the moment, Bob and I are doing it at the moment. Bob's already had some back issues by lifting the tables. We've got a trolley. I'm not going to be here all the time to do that. If I'm not here and Bob's not here, who's going to do it? Are you going to come in and do the tables? Put the chairs around? Are you? That's the question.
No need to talk to me.
No, I don't know. But are you prepared to do that?
The point
I'm just trying to arrive at a regular hourly thing. We can't have an open book.
Well, an open book would actually make the council pay a lot of money out on additionals because you have to make it open book to a closed book to cover all hours of the week. You can't do that. You can say there's going to be so many banquet hours, which are the regular bookings, and then additional too. It's got to be some flexibility. Otherwise, this sort of job, it ain't going to work, and it wouldn't be financially viable either way.
I was also thinking, I wasn't thinking about the staff moving and lumping tables and chairs about. I was on about unlocking the door and locking after they've gone. That's the only thing I was thinking of.
Yep.
Because hopefully the day before or the day after is a regular booking where the caretaker leaves the room set up for that day and next day undoes it. You know what I mean?
It doesn't quite work this week. It's not going to work like that. We're going to have to do some quick turnarounds. We've got 3 different functions on, which need to fall in different configurations this week, which isn't going to be unusual.
The simple question is, do we want a caretaker or don't we?
Without more information, we don't know, do we?
I think it just depends how you're going to work it.
Yeah.
You need a caretaker because there's the room is being used by private hire. And at the moment, two
Yes, David.
individuals are taking all the responsibility, and it's not fair.
They're doing a marvellous job, I might add.
Exactly where I'm going to come from. The Council of Towns, the Council of Chorlton decided to say, we ain't doing it, mate. You're stuck here with people that are milling around and nothing's happened, so you do need to do something about the situation. And I think we've discussed that, and it's the right way to go. To be quite honest, you need to have someone that will
I don't know.
They're given a list of what's coming here, so he knows, or she or he knows what's going on, and then can present themselves, set it out, tell them how to set it out, jobs are good, job done, and then takes the onus off all these people.
Thank you.
I've never done this before.
Well, that's me.
No,
Well,
I'm putting my hand
carry on,
up
Chair.
to ask myself to speak. I think what David's suggesting is fine. Right, let's do it on a trial basis, 6 months.
Yeah, you could. Yeah.
I think so. That would
See how it works.
I think it's for the personnel committee to do the actual nuts and bolts of getting somebody in the correct manner.
And like Bob just said, you could have it those particular hours when you know it's a regular booking, and then anything above and beyond is paid.
Well, we can print a
like
sheet
that,
off the calendar, and you can be issued
Yeah.
the calendar. So that's like tomorrow. Brian's got this tomorrow from what, 10? So you're going to be in here from 9:45. So the whole setup we've got here at the moment needs to be changed, because this is not how you want it, is it?
But that, you know, the one after is slightly different, and then Thursday it's completely
Totally
empty.
different.
The room's got the bed.
We had,
And then
currently at the
back to
moment we have got, or Bob's done, drawings of the regular layouts, how the tables are. So
I
we
think,
know
Chair,
that.
we agree in principle what we're saying.
It's just the details.
Noted.
Everybody sorted out. Personnel committee will sort the rest out.
Noted.
Well, no, I think we really ought to do a formal vote on
yes.
it. It was close
David.
secondary.
I accept that. The proposal is that we go forward to employ a caretaker.
I think on the advert, though, Mr.